Have you ever felt like you're talking but no one's really listening to you? I know everyone can hear me, but are you guys actually listening to what I'm saying or what I'm going to say? Negative listening habits can hinder our ability to actively listen to the people around us, and it can really devastate our personal relationships with people. These relationships can be with friends, family, coworkers, teachers, anyone along those lines. Listening plays such an important part in how we communicate with one another. If you're talking to someone and they're not listening, it's kind of like you're having a one-sided conversation, like you're talking to yourself or even a brick wall. And I know everyone has heard that saying before, because even if you don't mean to not listen, it happens, and it's important to realize what you're doing and kind of like snap back into it. Conversation is how we communicate feelings, experiences, and ideas with one another. When you have positive listening habits, you can build strong relationships, resolve problems, and establish understanding between yourself and another person or another group of people. Our ability to actively listen can be hindered by everyday distractions that surround us. The biggest distraction that I want to focus on is cell phones, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. We can also be distracted by the people around us, environment, stress, anxiety, and even the other thoughts that we have in our minds. Our listening abilities can also be impacted by boredom. It can occur when someone isn't interested in the topic of the conversator or the speaker, and it's really hard to listen when you can't even pay attention to what the person is saying or even have feedback for them because you didn't really understand what they were saying to you. Another thing that kind of hinders our ability to actively listen is judgment. Nowadays, we have so much judgment on, a person or a topic, and we're kind of closed-minded about it. But it's important to think about it, and whether you disagree with the person or not, it's still important that you listen to what they're saying, because obviously they feel passionate enough about it to be talking to you about it. So one of the things that we are always distracted by is cell phones. We're constantly getting text notifications, and we have all these apps and social media on our phone that distract us from the people around us. I know personally that this happens quite often to me. Is I'll be talking to someone and they'll get a text or a buzz or a notification on their phone, and while I'm still talking to them and sharing my day or a story or something, they'll pick up their phone and they'll just scroll through it, read the text, and answer them while I'm still talking. And it kind of makes me think why should I keep talking if they're not listening to me, because that's kind of disrespectful. So that's really an important thing to keep in mind, is kind of have your cell phone down when someone's talking to you, even if it's about what their dog ate yesterday, because obviously it meant something to them if they're sharing it with you. Another thing that can distract us is our stress and workload. These things, they can't easily be avoided. Everyone gets stressed, and everyone has work to think about and work to do, so it's kind of hard to listen to someone who's talking when you're thinking, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, or this made me upset. So this is proven in a study of perceptions of effective listening by Judy Brownell. So in the study, she basically asked these managers, about their employees and what they've said to them throughout the day, whether it's personal concerns or business concerns. And a lot of the managers couldn't recall a conversation they had 10 minutes ago, which is not a really good quality to have, especially if you're a manager, because managers are always being talked to. They talk to corporate, they talk to their employees about the business, and they can even talk about personal things. And if someone that is in charge and runs your business doesn't listen to you, what kind of opinion you can have about that? It's not really going to be a positive one. So emotions are another thing that can distract us. These emotions can be anger or sadness or excitement. And I think the one I'm going to focus on is anger, because I feel like it happens to everybody. So when you're arguing with somebody, you usually don't listen to what they're saying to you. You're kind of just thinking about what you're going to say next. What are you going to say to kind of put their opinion down or, belittle them or whatever. And that's not really a good thing to have. Excitement, it may not seem like it's a bad thing, but sometimes when you're so excited about, something that you're doing, say after work, you're gonna go to the amusement park and your coworker's trying to share something with you, and that's all you can think about because you're so excited, you're still not listening to them, even if it's, not because you're angry or sad with them. It's because, you're thinking about yourself, which is not a good thing. Boredom is another negative listening habit that affects our relationships. You can usually see boredom in someone's face. Like when you're talking to them and they have no emotion, they're not smiling, they're not like giving you eye contact or anything like that, that shows them that, you know, you don't care about them and what they're saying, and it makes them not want to talk to you. This is proven in a study of Listening is Essential by Gordon B. Schmidt. And so in this study, he basically had different students have different reactions. So let's say, for example, I'm the listener. So in the study, like, I'm not allowed to make any faces or even give you feedback or conversate back with you. I just have to stare at you with a blank face while you're talking about something that you're passionate about. And then you kind of feel like I don't care and that you don't want to talk to me. So that's exactly what the study showed. It showed that people that gave feedback and smiled and made eye contact with others, it made the conversation more fulfilling, and it made the other person want to keep talking, and it kind of encouraged them. And that's not always the case. Boredom can also be caused by an uninteresting topic or someone who has a monotone voice. This can happen a lot in school, during a teacher's lecture or something like that. Judgment is another barrier that impacts our relationships as well. They can be caused by prepositioned opinions about somebody or a topic. If you really hate someone or you hate the topic they're talking about, you're not going to listen to what they're saying. You could really care less. But it's important to have an open mind so you can at least make the person feel that they're being heard, because they also have a voice too and they want to share things with you. Judgment can also cause someone to not even want to converse with a person because they're going to have a negative judgment about you. You kind of fed into the habit as well. So not only did you make the person feel negative, you made them feel negatively about you. Some things that we can work on to improve our habits are decreasing stress, increasing knowledge, building trust, improving analysis and decision making, and probably the most important thing is increasing confidence. If you're confident in what you're saying, or you're confident in your ability to listen, you're probably going to end up doing it well. And this is stated in our textbook by Gamble and Gamble. So overall, bad listening habits can negatively affect our relationships. Being a good listener is vital in order to coexist with one another and make lifelong relationships with the people around you, which is really important. It's important to be aware of these signs or these qualities that you might have so you can kind of fix them or learn more about them and see how you can avoid making another person feel upset or angry or sad when you're not listening to them, even if you don't mean to do it. I also find myself kind of doing that. It's by accident, like I don't mean to do it, but it's important to snap out of it and get back into the groove of like listening, even if you don't really care. Distractions are a huge factor that can cause us to create negative listening habits. It's kind of hard to focus on something when there's countless things around you, but it's important to still have that one-on-one with someone as well. Boredom is another common but impactful habit that people have when listening. And humans are just naturally judgmental. We tend to make assumptions about people just by looking at them or hearing things about them. And it's important to remember that, you're human too. And it's important to listen to one another so we can coexist peacefully. And yeah.